Hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna go ahead and just try to throw in a little clip here of where this saw started at, right here. Okay, with that out of the way, this is the same tree we're cutting on, just a much larger section of it. Just the port layout in this thing was just a recipe for disaster. Performance was not in mind and not intended at all, but I honestly think I could go back into it, and as bad as I hate to say it, do some epoxy JB weld work, tighten things up here and there, and get this thing to perform a lot better. And you know, that's something we may do in the future, just use this thing to experiment on, maybe see if we can adapt another cylinder to it. You know, it's magnesium cases, be really easy to modify and adapt something else to fit it, I think. So I don't know, you guys let me know if you're interested in that, or if we should just leave the saw as is. But with that said, I'll throw together a little bit of video here and kind of show you what we had to work with and what I've done to it and why. Guys, I've already mapped this thing out, but you know what? Just map them out a couple of times. We'll do that again here on camera for you guys. This thing's about what would be expected on a lot of it, and then some of it's not real bad. Squish is not real bad. But check it again here on camera for you guys, and you'll be able to see, you know, with I like to get it above the wrist pin. But you should technically check all around, especially if you're doing squish band work, if you're decking your base. You should check it all around. We just didn't get a good smash on that at all. Let's go for it again. There we go. There, it's going to squish it this time. That's not been all the way against the cylinder, and I'm betting by the looks of the pattern on this, it's probably going to have a dome piston in it. Zero outer caliper. I actually bought a set of mechanical ones. Just like before, we got 30 thousandths squish when I checked it the first time. Probably see the solder. You got a pretty good smash on it. The exhaust port. Check it. That's what people want to see first for some reason. $97 for 58cc saw, unless it's an all-out racer and you're doing 8-inch cant racing. Intake port. Probably should have just moved to the transfers, but 70. Alright, transfers, and I've not peeked in there and looked, but just by my pick, it has a big old wide, probably an open port transfer. We got a reading of 123 port map on this. We have 97 on the exhaust roof. We have 123 on the uppers. That's 26 degrees of blow down. 70 on the intake, and we have 30 thou squish. None of that's god awful horrible. I don't like the 97 on the exhaust roof. On a saw this size, hopefully we're able to do some machine work, but from what I've seen from some of the other guys, it's like they run into free port issues. And I guess if you're doing an all-out racer wide open, that might not really matter as much. You can get by with a little bit, you know, you'll have a little bit of idle quality problems, but it's not the end all or end of the world either. But I'm rolling these laugh. We ain't got a lot here going on for us to our advantage performance wise. We got a high exhaust roof. It is squared off. on the sides and the roof, which is weird, and it's fairly clean. The casting on it's pretty nice, really. But what in the world is this big hot mess? That's the intake port, and I'm gonna have to double check my intake timing to make sure I had it right, because just checking it the way I was checking it, I should have got a flashlight and look down in there. I always do that. Yeah, a little bit of advice there. I always just have a peek in with a flashlight. But big open transfers, funky looking intake port, and a high exhaust roof. On this size of saw, which who knows what it is, it could be 58 cc's, it could be 50, 56, who knows. I'm not going to mark it out and measure it. Alright guys, got our lines drawn. That's where I'm going to start with the uppers and get those where I want them to be. And I really don't know that I'm going to do much with that exhaust port at all. Of course, we'll polish it, but there ain't really a whole lot to do. Again, it's like super squared off. Kind of odd. I'll have to get a light and put on it in a little bit, but you can kind of see it there. And then this intake's it's just one big hot mess. I mean, look at that garbage. I just kind of wonder if the rings even drop down in there at all. Okay guys, my transfer port, it's not 100% done yet. I've got a little bit of touch up to do. And the stock transfer, you can see my line drawn there maybe, but this piston, look how rough the casting is on this. And man guys, it'll cut you anywhere all around. Like I could shave with that, like no joke. I might go in, and I don't know if I'm going to worry about trying to pull any weight out of it or not. I may whittle here and there a little bit, but I don't know if we're going to do a lot. Okay guys, look at the piston. I didn't go too crazy, but it's a lot better than it was. Got all the sharp edges. Okay, port work. Look at the exhaust port. Pretty good polish on it. Not nothing too crazy. Good look at the shape and how wide I got that out. It is widened, but I kind of tried to stay away from the corners of the roof. It was a little tricky to blend that back in, but maybe you can tell a little bit of something about how I done that or not. Trying to squeak about as much out of this as I can. We ain't got a lot to work with, but it is what it is sometimes. But I'd shown the uppers before, but they are widened. They're raised significantly. They might have a little more of an angle on them than they had to begin with. Intake port, maybe we can get a look kind of like this first. Maybe that may not be helping the matter at all. The main work to the intake port was the floor of it. If you'll remember, it came down to like a V in the center. That's a little too bright. Let's step that light down just a little bit. That's probably better. There we go, we're focused now. I wouldn't say it's 100% completely flat across. It is in the very center. It is just a little bit lower, but I pulled my intake timing there, and we've got I wouldn't say a much larger port, but we're going to get more of a charge through there. We're not larger, say, so to speak, here, but the floor is flattened out on the bottom, and we did widen it some, not a lot, but hopefully, you know, with a lower duration number, and I hit my number about spot on where I wanted. Final number is 18 thou, 99, 118, 77 and a half. I think she's going to do really good. So the muffler, the baffle inside has, I don't know, probably 3/8 inch holes in each side of it. What I done, I took a 1/2 inch drill bit and opened up the front hole and wall loaded out. So it's basically a straight shot through a 1/2 inch hole out both of these deflectors. You can actually hold it up and see all the way through. So